All right. Let's see if streaming works. And also, oh, I think I don't have audio yet. All right. Maybe that works. Test, test. Ah, okay, okay. I thought it would go there, but okay. Actually, you can hear me, I think. All right. Good. Just checking if the stream is indeed live. You can hear me, I think. Okay, great. Okay, we're ready to develop a little bit. So, for context, this is a game that we're making with my girlfriend. A bit on the side for now. And in that game you make ravioli, or raviolis. And currently you have a recipe book. If you open it, you see kind of the ingredients to put into your raviolis, or ravioli. And you can pour things into things, like for example this water that I put in the bowl. And then a little bit of flour. And a bit of salt. And some eggs. And olive oil. I remember the recipe, but it's all written down here. And what's missing? 2 eggs. Oh no, I put the eggs, okay. And then you can process them with this little machine. Put the pasta in this other machine, and it makes little ravioli. And then there are other steps, like you cook some stuff and package the raviolis at the end. But yeah, that's basically the concept. And right now, what I want to do is add a new recipe to what we have here. And this is the ingredients table, or utensils, like ingredients and like items, entities. And you can like assign the properties for each here. And here we have some new ingredients that my girlfriend added. And so now we just have to implement the behaviors for them, basically, essentially. And before that, I would like to make this scrollable so that you can, with the mouse wheel, like see further in the inventory. That's where you take all your stuff from. It'd be great if it was scrollable. So perhaps let's start with that. We'll just... All right. So that would be the inventory. Inventory. So here I'm just looking at where we actually draw the inventory. Okay, it's here. So let's see, there is here a loop that's drawing each item individually, right? And so what we probably want to do is add some kind of offsets so that when you scroll, it basically shifts the whole thing. Let's see. Okay, so we got a row. So I suppose if I offset this row by 100 pixels, for example. Okay, so you can see it shifts down on the left. Let's close up this one. Don't need it. This one as well. So let me show you again. Okay, let's make it much bigger. Let me show you again. So this is the rectangle of one row of this inventory. And if I change the offset I put here, up, it changes position essentially. So what I'm thinking is if I add a variable called like inventory scroll, y, then probably, and I suppose the scroll would be like a positive number as you scroll. So then it will be minus something because the y coordinates go downwards. Okay, let's add this actual field to the game state. And let's modify it so that when you scroll, this increments essentially. Let's do it here. How do you do that? Mouse, scroll delta y. Okay. Except I should switch it to the other direction, I think. That looks correct. And it's way too slow, so let's do times 10, yeah. Maybe. Okay, feels a bit better. Good. Not such a fan of this music, but I just looked for streaming music that is hopefully free of rights. All right. It's not too bad already. We should probably clamp it. So it can be less than 0, and then the max is to be determined. It depends on the height of the thing. Okay. Maybe, so we could calculate that. Let's see. So the way it works is it takes like slices from a rectangle, which is the height of the screen, basically. It's called layout. So I suppose I could just shift the whole layout. Maybe that would make kind of sense. And it would just do exactly the same. And then I need to measure the height of the layouts. And this information, we don't have it. So we need to either take it from the last frame or calculate it. And perhaps I'll calculate it for now. It's a bit cleaner. So, but okay. So we would need to know in advance how many rows we have. And I don't know why this guy is infinite. Item. I mean, yeah, we can take just the count of items in the inventory. Let's try. Float, call, axe. We know there are 3 items per row, so we divide by 3. And then we multiply by the height of a row, which would be 50. Row height const row height. And actually I like to call, wherever I want to type height, I put like SY for size Y, which I prefer. Okay. Okay. That's not what I expected. Doesn't scroll far enough. I guess it's ×3 actually. Yeah, because we can put 3 items per row. So, okay, that's more what I expect. Like you can scroll all the way, and that's too much. Because like, yeah, you can offset by the height of this thing. Actually, it seems more. Like those guys are out of screen, but you can still, I guess because there is a small border or something, but that's okay. What do we need then? We need to subtract the height of the screen essentially. So we can take the height of the layouts, subtract it here. Getting closer, but still not quite there. So what did I miss? Okay. I'm dumb, but this wasn't the row height at all. This was the row height. 305. Okay. 305. Still not quite okay. Is it some kind of weird priority thing? I don't think so, but yeah. Not a huge fan of this music yet. Okay, so you can scroll past, and then if I scroll back, yeah, I have to scroll back quite a bit. So I suppose this is completely off. Let's see. I'm thinking let's log it. So we have a little facility for tracking values. It's a kind of a magic macro that shows them on the screen here. Doesn't really. What's up? Forgot the structure access. Okay, so it gets pretty high. Let's actually let go in the debugger completely. So we are moving the animation, okay. And then the height is 2000. Where is my clamp actually? Okay. I was looking at the wrong place. Apologies. So our scroll max is 15,000 and the size of the layout is 1,600. Okay. So I suppose something is really wrong with this, right? Actually, I did time tree, but it was correct. It was divided by 3. I'm not really thinking. Maybe I'm a bit stressed by the streaming. I'll get used to it. Okay, that's better, but not quite correct yet. It doesn't scroll enough. So that would be the row counts. Does it round down? I think it might. Oh, fuck. Okay, maybe I just add one. And let's see, maybe there is also like spacing between the rows. Shrink, no, yeah, there is not. There isn't. But then how come we can scroll completely? Kind of weird. Because the layout is the full layout. I think that's it. So layouts, the blocker. Then we directly red cut from it. Huh. Okay, let's visualize a little bit stuff. Draw rect border, and we'll just draw each row. Color red. Okay. Okay, so actually the row is fully fitted on the screen. It's just the little labels are outside of the rows. Okay, that makes sense. So I don't really want to fix it properly. I just I just had this debug line below here. I don't really want to fix it properly yet. So I will just add a little bit to the clamp. Perfect. And by the way, I think I should be careful that this never goes like below 0. So I will say at least 0. That way I never clamp from 0 to a negative number, essentially. Okay. Now it would be good if the background would move as well, but I would need some kind of looping texture or something, and I don't really want to do that yet. So later maybe we do a different visual for this with we dynamically draw the light squares. Okay. That's already something. Maybe I can push that. Ravioli Planet. We change the visual. Added the scroll. Okay. Next up, let's do the next recipe. So the recipe for the pasta is the same as the other one. You put all of those ingredients in the bowl and then mix it. gives you this, and then you can put this into the machine and then select a shape. And currently, like previously, you could only do one shape, which are actually squares. And now we need the round shape for this other recipe. So what I want to check, do we have a round ravioli, basically? What we call pâton, rond in French. Yes. Ah, yeah, it's the old one. Okay, okay. And then the one with, did I not like keep it somewhere? Because we used to use it. I did not. Okay. So bâton. Pâte ravioli. Ah, she changed it, I think. Well. That's all right. Okay, we can start with that. I'll just tell her that we missed that. Okay, then, okay, next thing to do is that if we press here, it produces a round ravioli. If we press here, it produces a square ravioli, essentially. I think that's a good way to approach it. That's the wrong one. I don't know. Okay, this one. So I hardcoded the IDs of my stuff. This one will be let's see where we use it. So that's the machine that produces the pasta bits here. Essentially when you, let me save. Oh, it doesn't save anymore. Ah, because I was editing some text. Okay, I see. Save. Up. Just looking for the images, but I don't see the round ones. Ah, okay. Pat pierogi. Okay. I just didn't know the correct name. Okay, so this is fried. Okay, folded. Okay. So that would be I suppose you can do it like that and then fields. And then grilled. Fried. Okay. Okay. All right. So that's the machine. And then, like, if I switch this dev pattern to dev pattern rond, which means round, I kind of mixed a little bit English and French in. Oh fuck! I quit in my code this time, which is probably not a great idea, but that's what I did. So if I change it, then okay, then there are rounds instead of square. So now it would be nice if we had like two buttons, and depending on the one that you press, it switches the mode of the machine and produces different shapes. So we need a mode first. Laminator mode or shape mode. And since we have only two Ravioli's shapes, perhaps we could even have stored the ID directly, like laminator outputs def ID or something like this. Kind of stupid, because if we change the IDs later, I'll do it. I think it's okay. So def ID determines basically what kind of pasta we will produce, and we just use it here. And it can be zero. It can be zero, otherwise we have a problem. So we maybe just add a check like that. Actually, it wouldn't like cause a real problem, but I don't want to have like null entities appearing. And then the two buttons, let's see, plan 1 in French. So that's one of the buttons, I think. And then where is the other? Ah, okay, when I implemented that, I misunderstood, I think. This is actually the round button. And this is the square button. So let's replace. Button shape round. Oops. And the other one is button shape starts is buttons shape square. Okay. Kind of surprised that it's the round one that is acting, whereas here I say I guess I'm messed up. Okay, it's this one is round and this one is the square, and both need to be clickable. Oopsie. Okay, and now this one turns the thing on. Both need to turn the thing on. So here it will be square or round. And then additionally, like if the square one is turned on, then we will set the laminator to bâton def or def bâton. Yes. And then if the round one is clicked, we set it to the other def ID. So basically it will produce the other type. I think that should be all that's needed. So let's load the save where there is pasta here. And this should be round. Seems to be working fine. Reload, square. Seems to be also working fine. That's great. Oh, I'll just remind her that she can make a separate sprite for this so it doesn't shake. Okay. So that seems to be working. This should be round. Reload. This should be square. Great. Okay. Then we have a problem. The round one won't stack on this thing because it's hard-coded to be the square one. That stack. Like if I split up, you will see up. It just pops onto the little this, the little plateau, as you would say in French. It's a cooking game, so I can just say words in French and it just sounds like I'm a professional. But yeah, the little plateau has some logic that basically absorbs the pasta. And so we need the same for the round ones. So let's see, plateau, small, that's the logic that stacks the pasta, I think. And so I just have to check for the other ID as well. And I think that should work. Maybe I need a helper because I will need to test for both a lot, I think. Rond. Reloads. And now the stack. Great. Whoops. Okay, they stack, that's great. There are a lot of things that you can do with the square one that you should be able to do with the non-square ones, the rounds ones. So I'm thinking that's to fold them, but maybe the round one don't need to be folded. Has to put them in the casserole, in the pot. But yeah, let's def ID is pasta. def IDs pasta will actually like test for both of those IDs. Def ID is pasta, and you pass like an ID, and then it should do the equivalent of this. Okay, I'll just slap it just here without thinking. Okay. Thing. Oh, ID, I guess. Just that was the ID. Whoops. ID. Oh, I could pass a thing and then I have less to type. Because usually I want to test a thing, I think. Yeah. Okay, so let's change it to a thing. I don't love this music. I mean, it's... I'll put some Wolfpack because that's my favorite band, or one of my favorite bands. And I think they don't have a big label. So perhaps it's okay for live stream. Let's put an old one. Ideally without lyrics. Which I don't know if we... Oh yeah, they didn't do albums until... If anybody wants to recommend something, let me know. It's something that is streamable. Maybe I just go to the good old music for programming or programming.net. Yeah, I think that might be. And then shut up, stupid repetitive music, and then Sunjammer. All right, that will do. Okay, so we have a thing, we compare to both IDs, and then we can just simplify that. And the other one, we can simplify it as well. Okay. Now back to actual... Oh, okay, my girlfriend told me that she did the split of the machine and the conveyor belt. Thanks so much. Okay, pull. And I can push this, why not? I think it was then shapes. And so she added this. Perfect. Perfect. Oh my god. With the zoom, it's kind of hard to... And also the facts. Yeah. Okay, so Pat, I guess it's the conveyor belt, conveyor. But if she named it back, I would name it back. So it's just like consistent. Pat back. That's also why we have some French is some files are named in French, and so I didn't want to change it to English just because then it wouldn't be consistent anymore. So this guy is there, okay. So here I'm just making it so it draws the conveyor belt on another layer, which should be like behind, so like that. And I need a unique ID. This is kind of old. I don't think those IDs were a great idea. $31. It was actually a really bad idea. And I think they are not needed that much anymore. Back. I actually don't need to interact with it. Can you hear me well? Maybe the music was a bit over the top. Oh. Not sure what happens. What happened there? Let's pretend it's nothing. Okay, so we have the pasta, we still have the conveyor belt, and it's a separate item, that's great. Except it's like kind of, oop, that's because I think the ID is colliding. Fuck. That was just a very bad idea, I think, to put hard-coded IDs. Okay. I'll clean that up later, just not now. By the way, you can switch the type of shape on the way, let's say. So now we have two shapes on the machine. Might be a bit confusing, but maybe sometimes useful if you have two orders at the same time. And yeah, this stopped shaking, right? Yes, only this shakes now. That's great, and we want to shake that as well, which is this, I think. Let's just try to. No. Pasta machine. It should be something with the pasta machine. Weird. Is it this one? Actually, no. Oh no, it's this one. It's this one. Okay. No, it's not this one. Okay. Just a little confused. One moment. So we've got this pasta machine. Okay. So this is just the main. Of course, it doesn't compile because I need this down there. It's the shaking effect. This is the main machine. Okay. That makes sense. Then we have the two buttons. And then we have this, which I have no idea what it is. Probably we actually need to remove it. Clean up. I will tag it for removal later. Then we have the buttons. Then we have the shaking effect. Then we have this, which is actually the pasta when you take it out of this. Then those are unrelated things. Ah, okay. It was down here for some reason. Okay, so you can see when I uncomment this, the pasta which is in the machine already just disappears. When I save, it disappears. So I'm confident this is the one. And I want this to shake with the rest of the machine, essentially. So I will put it where it belongs, which is next to the rest of the machine code. Machine code, not in that way. This shaking effect, okay, so this is the... And I will just add a small comment. Pasta in the machine. And this guy should shake. So layer. Okay. What? And that's a layer info. Oh yeah, okay, layer info. It's been a while. I've done this a while back. All right. Now this moves with the machine. That's kind of nice. And I think my girlfriend is working on making it fit the new machine because she changed the machine but forgot about the pasta overlay. Turning down the music a little bit more. I hope my voice is loud enough. I think it probably is. Oh yeah, I put the... Maybe the music is barely hearable. Okay, what's next? So I'm checking the recipe that I have written here. So in here, on this screen, we should... Aha, okay. Just restarting the game so we have everything in there. So those mushrooms should be... We should be able to put them in this machine and cut them, basically. Just like we can already do for the garlic. It's not perfect, but that's the idea. So then you put the mushroom in there, click, then it turns into cut a mushroom. But we don't have the visual for the cut version, it seems. For the garlic we do... it's a separate ingredient altogether, okay. Okay. So we would need a new visual mushroom. Oh, okay. Sliced mushroom. Champignon is a mushroom in French, as you might have guessed. Okay. So, champignon. Coupé. Which means sliced mushrooms. Is it consistent with this? Yes, yes, it is. All right. Then I, which is the garlic. Perhaps I should switch everything to English, but I don't mind it for now. I cut is 20 and I normal I is 14. This is also not ideal that I hardcode some IDs, but I still need to think about how to make it best. So let's call it a shroom in the code. And then define def room sliced. And that's 48. So I could generate those, I think. Like from the editor, generate the IDs to use from the code. That could be fun. Already doing something kind of similar in another game. And then let's see where we use this. We use it here. So let's just blindly duplicate this, cut shrooms. Cutter use, cutter hovered, mouse press, that looks okay. And then here we change it to shroom. Ah, no, not okay. Not okay, but close. This is the step where you take the thing and put it in the cutter. So let's restart. I'll show you. Let's take out the shroom and the garlic. Like that. Save. And when you put the garlic inside this, it switches to this. That's actually kind of sad, no? Maybe the garlic, when you drop it here, should like stand here and wait for you to click, and then this should appear here. I think that would be kind of fun. Let's just do it like it's now. Yeah, it's kind of... Yeah, I kind of feel like for this to work, like to feel good, when you drop it, it should like stay on top of this little grid, and then you click and it closes, and then you can take it out from here. So what I should probably do is say add essentially I have a system of putting things into things. For example, this garlic, I put it in the bowl, it will show as in the bowl, and the entity is actually added to a list of entities that are in the bowl, if you see what I mean. And perhaps I could do the same for the the cutter here. You drop something, it gets put into that thing, but somehow on top. So maybe let's try. I think I have a new way to say put inside. Yeah. This is good. This is simpler. As I go, I try to simplify my code, like take the common patterns and put them in functions. And here we can have put inside shroom into the cutter. And the cutter, okay, the cutter is still a layer, not a thing. That sucks. Because the first time I implemented this, I introduced the concept of layers, which are those things on screen, and then I added the concept of things, which are things that can be moved, basically, and this is still a layer, so it can't contain other things, because only things contain things. So if I wanted to do what I'm saying, I would need to make this a thing instead of a layer, and then somehow like place it by hand at the correct position, which I don't really want to do. So maybe I just skip that improvement. I'll put it on a mental to-do list for now and just continue with this. So if we are dragging a thing and the thing is not dead, which is the term I use for inactive or deactivated, and the thing is garlic, or the thing is shroom, then the thing disappears, and then the cutter, so this was just a way to say there is something in the cutter, and there could be only garlic previously. So cutter contains entity index or something. Nah, that's kind of stupid. Yeah, I should really have a thing that represents the cutter. But yeah, as I said, I don't want to change it yet. Maybe I'm just being lazy. Let's do it like that. We take the def ID of the thing that we just put here. And then it's immediately used, okay. So I guess we don't need use anymore. We can just say if we have put something inside, and then put that to 0 at the end. And yeah, that should work. Yeah, that looks okay. And cutter used becomes if it contains or not something. Let's see if we get errors. No, that's good. And then when we take the result of the thing, instead of this I cut, we should take this, I think. So basically we just take back, so that's not completely finished because here we don't reload, we don't transform what is being put inside it, but at least we can put something in it, take it back. And now we just do the transformation. So here when we put it inside, if it's garlic, it should become sliced garlic. Let's do it like this. We put it first inside conceptually, and then we change this to whatever we want. Def I coupé sliced. No. Cut. Cut. Okay, and if it's shroom, cut. Okay, this time I use slice. I guess sliced is more correct. Okay, let's try. Okay. Yeah, I think that's maybe good enough for now, and at some point I make this an actual thing, struct, and then I can use more fancy. I can do more fancy UI where you can see what's inside. But maybe what I could still do now is when you put it inside, you still have to click to perform the thing. But then you don't have a visual feedback for when you put it inside, so that's kind of not great. Okay, so I see why I did it like this before. Okay. Can remove this, we don't need it anymore. So that's one part of the recipe. And then you should be able to put the shrooms in the pan. And then put the result in the bowl. Okay, so both the garlic and the shrooms in the pan, I believe. The garlic, you can't put it in the pan yet. And the shroom, you can put them either. But the spinach you can. We're just making a snapshot here. The spinach you can. So we will copy what we do with the spinach. That's the thing that makes you put, that allows you to put spinach in the pan, which is called poêle in French. So we can do shrooms sliced and I cut. And by the way, I will rename I cut to I sliced. So it's consistent. Sliced. Okay. And now you can see you can put stuff inside inside the pan, which is cool. By the way, I have the chat open, so if you're here, don't hesitate to drop in. I'll probably see it just on my second screen. I suppose it would be nice if the visual wasn't like green, because that's not matching what we put inside, of course. But I'm not sure. Do we already have an image? Oh, we have, yes, we do, actually. Oh no. Oh no, okay. That's correct. Okay. Just checking what she did for the Kinali. Ah, okay, so we got this shape is different from the just ask her which recipe she wants first. Okay. So back to our stuff. Uh-oh. What did I break? Okay, I'm not sure what I did. Yeah, in the pan, it's not ideal if it's green. This one is named. Okay. So this one is called Puel. Okay, and this is the filling with the mushrooms. Okay, it's clarified now. Cooking and cooked. Okay, it's subtle, but there's a difference. Okay. Cooking. And we want this guy. Okay, and now when we put the stuff inside, yeah, it shows up as this, which is a little better, but we'll need variations, basically, because once we cook now, oh no, it doesn't switch, okay. Because it doesn't understand that it's filled. Okay. Just thinking what's best, because essentially I want to be able to have two visuals, one looking like that, and that's when it explodes. Oops. One looking like that, this or this. And I wonder what's the easiest way to switch them. And also, I think, okay, I restart, that's fine. I think it would be nice if when you put the mushrooms, it shows as only mushrooms. I didn't save. Fuck. So when you put the mushrooms, it shows up as only mushrooms, not with those garlic highlights. And then when you put the garlic bits appear. And so for that, I would need some kind of overlay system, which I already have one system, but yeah, actually maybe we could try that. So it should. So I look for this visual of Puel Kinkali cooking. Puel Kinkali cooking. I should probably have a feature to just show it in the Explorer. Puel Kinkali cooking. And then I will need to kind of extract the mushrooms and the garlic, so they are separate, which probably won't be easy, but we can do a rough one and later refine. Is the... Yeah, I'm not a fan of a spoken voice in the music. All right, then. So what I want to do is basically extract only the mushrooms, because so we'll take the magic wand. Great. This music I like. So I can't draw. Okay, I can. And so now what I want to do is fill in the holes. This is why it was weird. Better, but not like it's kind of transparent when I apply it. Can I just get a normal brush, I guess? Basic. Okay. I'm sure there is a more efficient way to do that, but it's okay. Okay, there we go. Then we can export that as shrooms overlay, something like this. Images, things. Rooms, cooking. Overlay. What the fuck? Yeah, I need to fix some stuff in my engine, I think. So let's see. Load. Put the shrooms in there, and of course, so it's currently wrong, but let's change this so there is no field visual, so it falls back on the normal. And then the shrooms should have a overlay set. So this is the shroom data, the slice shroom data, and we can add an overlay, which will then be called well room cooking overlay. It looks a bit red to me. Is that the... It was the original color, okay. And so you can see it shows as an overlay now, which is what we wanted. And we can do the same for the other ingredients, namely the garlic. Almost there. Perfect. Or not perfect, but good enough. And cancel. We want to export only this. Garlic, or I guess. Will it again crash? Yes. Fuck. So something with the file watcher. Maybe I want to fix that, but... So essentially... This was 0, okay, so this got reset. Init. TP init. So this shouldn't get called when it hot reloads. But somehow it got like cleaned, like resets. Why? Yeah, this looks correct to me. It should like persist across hot reloads. Am I like clearing it? So first of all, we could run in the debugger. Just try a hot reload. Just kind of breaking our flow here, but I want to investigate. because if it does it each time, it will be kind of annoying. So I hot reload. That's working fine. So is it only when... Yeah, I guess it's working fine. We already saw that. Is it only when... So the moment I add a new file, it triggers an import. And doesn't really like something. Try to bind handle. Da-da-da. This might be a different thing actually. It's because I think maybe because the image was identical and then it looked at the hash and it's kind of a bug. But what if I'm running? Shit, I forgot to run in the debugger. What if I'm running and I edit a random image? Maybe this one. I edit it. I save, go back. Oh. Okay, same. Not same, it's different. Okay. So the very first layer that we draw, we don't manage to, it's 0. So the fact that the image changed somehow set the resources to 0. So watcher. So we import the assets when the file watcher is triggered. Okay, we do this. I'm guessing maybe we actually clear. Yeah, we clear the struct here. Okay, this might be why. And then, so then we should load it again. Maybe in the watcher. Maybe here we load again. So let's restart. Let's restart and let's edit this again. And we still have this problem. Of course, if we clear the whole struct, the image watcher will get deleted essentially. So we can't clear the whole struct. I think I clear it to catch bugs where the importing stuff assigns some resources to the res struct, but when you package a game release, you never import stuff. So we want to make sure that that's kind of hard to explain. A bit of a bad design as well. Something that I plan to fix in the next iteration of the asset system, which I'm working on. But so our watcher, file watcher, we maybe can back it up before the clear. And reassign. I think that's the easiest. Clear res struct to catch Okay, let's see if that changes things. Yeah. This is annoying. I do a change, save, then switch, and it doesn't switch immediately. It's been, I thought the last so-called update would fix it. Apparently it didn't. Unless it's the actual image import that takes that long, but I doubt it. What I could do is, maybe it is because I can switch just fine like this. But I could profile it, so save. Surely we should be able to see the, yes. Ah, okay, no, it's just my code. Just my code doing a buttload of, oops. Well, just my code doing a lot of imports that it shouldn't need to. Okay, that's good to know. With the new asset system, it will all be solved. And that crash, by the way, was just profiler trying to display too many squares. And I don't have a good way to deal with that right now. Although it can display a lot of rects, it couldn't handle as many as it needed to. Or maybe there is another issue there, I don't know. But you can see it can still display a ton of zones. Anyhow, we don't need to be recording. This is solved, that's good. And now we can go back to what we were doing, which was the overlay stuff. I think, I guess I didn't save assigning the overlay to this. So overlay. Ah, that's another issue. Which I don't really want to solve yet online or now. Penning file, should say opening files. Bug in the font ranging as well. Okay, so overlay, then this one, then save. And then for the garlic, same thing. Overlay. It's called I, and it should be. Did I save it yet? I guess that's the one. Yes. Forgot to say overlay. That's not good. So, holy shit, a lot of crashes these days. Okay, so I messed up my selection, I guess. This one should be good, but the garlic one. You know what? Let's rename it so it's consistent. So that must be. I cooking overlay. And then hopefully Holy shit, I should really fix all those issues. The new system will fix them, I swear. Basically, it's I think it's looking at, like, it's trying to display a sprite, but it's finding a texture instead. Something like this. Like, this is the sprite or sub-image, and this is the image or texture. And I'll probably assign just a 1-1. Okay, almost there. I think there is the overlay, but just the this is still assigned, so we just remove it. Okay, and now we have the garlic only, with like fucked up borders, which can be maybe are in the image, or is just when I resize. You know, this is clean, but just in engine it's showing wrong because of because I should use additive blending basically to solve that, I think. It's kind of a classic bug with 2D sprites. But then we don't see the garlic because the shrooms are in front. So we would need some kind of ordering system. But if we put the shroom first and then the garlic, it looks great. Okay, so that's that. Let's see the recipe. Okay, so there is 2 more things to put in the cooking pan, which are coriander seeds and paprika. And I assume this is paprika. And coriander seeds, I don't see them there. Okay, this is the coriander seeds, but they are not in the inventory yet. Okay, fair enough. So sadly we have to restart because stuff gets added to the inventory at the start. So that would be the coriander seeds. And what did I say? The paprika. Yes, paprika is this, yes. Maybe we should put a little tooltip when you hover. Maybe I can do that now, it's easy. Except it will look kind of ugly. So when you hover the item, hovering, editor, tool tip, just checking it works. No. Mouse just pressed. Okay, I didn't fully read. Okay, and then instead of hey, we should display the name of the thing that we are hovering. So I suppose that would be item def name. Okay, and then we have a little helping tooltip saying what it is, which is nice. So it could also be good to have it there, but for now it's good. And both of those should be able to be put inside the cooking pan. And to do that, we probably want to pour them inside instead of put them inside. Pour interaction. What was this? Okay, pour interaction. So this is, for example, pouring flour into a bowl. We can take the same, call the same function for the coriander in the pan. So let's put it here. Coriander. Pan, if you will, and then paprika. And then we want to define both of these, which are 43 for the paprika and 46 for the coriander. Define def paprika 36. Aha, and then I guess this one needs a thing as a destination. Okay, no biggie. Let's check the usage of this. Ah, okay, we also have a version that can take a def ID. Doesn't work yet. Coriander, no. Yes, that looks correct. Let's try with just one, just to see. No. So what I'm expecting to see is this like tilting. Or maybe I need to... Yeah, I need to put this for it to tilt, but still it should do something. Same with the paprika, this should be set to something like 100. But why? Why doesn't it tilt at all? Coriander. This was 36 or 46. Double check. 46, yes. Ah, I'm stupid. It's not the correct row. Oh no, oh wait, okay. I confused the seeds and the plant. That's 45. That explains it. 45. And now it pours. That's great. And then we can move the hotspots, which is where it pours from, a little bit to the left. It should display. Ah, no, I need to enable debug draw. Debug draw. It should be. It would be better if it was automatic when we tweak those values. But well. Hold on. Set it up. This and where is the other one? Let's restart once more. I guess I guess I forgot to save snapshot. So restart, so we have all the stuff, this guy and the garlic. Save, snapshot, cut this, put it inside, cut this, put it inside, save, pour this, and it's inside, great. And then this one should be also pourable. And it's called paprika, and its ID is 43. And we don't have any 43. So I messed up that as well. Well done, Sebastian. And now it works as well. But just let's change the hotspot to something more reasonable. Fuck. And cool. Could be even more. Maybe 80 and 90 or 100 since it's a little bit bigger. Yes, perfect. That reminds me, wouldn't it be cool if there was a color when you pour? Like we could tint the little seeds that fall the proper color. I think I would like to do that still today, perhaps. So let's do that. I'll quit because I know it will crash if I modify the depth. But maybe I'll take a break first. I'll take a little break. I need to drink some water. Eat a little something. I'll leave you on this. Coming back in a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. Made myself a tea. Oh, hold on. Okay. So I was mentioning before that we might want to tint the bits that are falling when you pour. And so for that we need a new property in the table here, which would be, so def is the struct that defines one entry in this table. It defines an object, basically, an entity. And what we need then is a color. Color. Pour color. And so I think, of course, so this is kind of normal, I think. Yeah. This is my bad. I should have quit. At this point, it's normal. Sometime I will fix it. Lots of stuff to fix. But I never have the time to fix all of them. But it will come someday. Checking the tea. I think it's enough steeping. Okay. So now we have a column called pour color. How do you say pour at the to power color. But then we need a way to essentially edit it. I didn't make a color palette kind of thing by default yet. I don't know if any of what I'm saying makes sense. I'm getting a bit tired, but let me open game tree. This game looks like that. And we have a table here. And in there we can change colors of stuff, like this ability, we can change its color. But it's not a full color palette where you can like tweak hue, value, and what's the tree thing? Tint, hue, saturation and value. That's the thing. So we would need some kind of pop-up that would show like 3 sliders. I think that's the easiest way to do it. So maybe a circle or a square showing the color, and when you click it, a pop-up, and then 3 sliders. I think that's what I'm going for now. So window, table window. And here what I'm essentially looking at is a default code to draw properties in tables. And I'm going to add a new one for colors. And my problem is colors are actually just vector force. Vec4, if you will. So I don't know if this will work. Let's see. I draw a rect rounded. And then how do we get the rect of the cell? I think it's, yeah, drawer cell rect contents. And we need a color, I forgot. Color red for now. And then a radius for the corners. Okay, it's working, great. I had a doubt, but that's good. Maybe we want some kind of border to just have some contrast in case the color is similar to the background, let's say, or dark. So white, color VA, so value alpha, so a little bit transparent, and border. I can't see any difference. Okay, it was just maybe a bit too... Okay, that's good. It's kind of bulky. It's a bit... it's maybe a bit big. It's maybe a bit big. But at the same time, it wouldn't make sense to make it just part of the cell, I think. Right? So at least you can see the color quite clearly like this. So then when you click on it, we want to kind of open a pop-up. I'm going to look at the other... Okay, I think I know what to do. I need a new control ID. Control ID. Declare control ID, I think it's... Declare control ID. Color. Doesn't make much sense, but if color, hold on, first control ID update or something like this. That's the one. This one should also be renamed. It doesn't follow my conventions anymore. I'll just rename everything at once later. So when we update the control, we need to pass a rect, so the system knows where that control is. And it seems that you pass the rect first, which is maybe a bit strange. But it's the way it works now. So let's take this, put it here, and then what do you need to pass? Focusable. True, of course. And it doesn't return anything, which makes sense. And then if control ID is in focus chain, color thumb, color control ID, I will call it. Okay. Then we draw the pop-up. And we could just actually make a pop-up. Pop-up, push. What the signature of this one? Ah, that's not the one I want. Then let's see. Drop down. Ah. Don't we have a drop down here? It's in controls. Drop down begin. That's the one. Okay. Takes a source control rect. Why? Oh yeah, for the positioning. Control ID to focus. If we go back, this is unused now. Need to clean up content size and no scroll. Okay. And it returns a rect pop-up rect. And maybe we need to push the ID. Push. And so the control rect will be this. The back control ID would be drawer ID, I think. Or maybe, I'm not entirely sure, but I will see. This can be 0 because it's unused. This can be a hard-coded value. And no scroll is true because no need to scroll. It will be just a small pop-up. Holy shit! What was stack? Oh yeah, I pushed an ID. No, it's correct. Oh, I forgot to drop down and the buffer and no scroll. Okay. Funny that no scroll is required twice. I think yeah, a lot of my code base is quite hackish in locations, but I kind of know how to fix it. All right. Okay, so now when we click this, we get a nice little pop-up. And when we click outside, we properly close the pop-up, if you will. And so now the only thing that remains is, oh, by the way, I will pass just a cell rect, so it's, I would think, oh no, I'm dumb. It's this guy, cell rect, just so the pop-up is positioned aligned with the rectangle of the cell, not the rectangle of the cell content. And then inside this pop-up, we want 3 sliders that control the color, essentially. Or 4 sliders if we want the alpha, the transparency. Draw pop-up content. Just give me a sec. All right. So we draw the pop-up contents. So we need 3 rectangles for the, or 4 rectangles for the sliders. But first we shrink the rectangle. Rect, shrink, uniform, and then we pass the rect, and we shrink by 6 pixels. That way we get some margin, and then we cut out a row. Oops. Rect, cut, stop. Sweet. And draw HSV color slider. I think there is somewhere where color slider, color sliders. That's the thing that I need. Oh, and you can pass it a layout. That's so cool. Very smart. Whoever did that. That's me. Up. And okay, and then, okay, this is the pointer to the color, which will be in this case, hold on. Actually, it's kind of the same deal. We just pass the current field and current object data. Here we go. It's working, except it doesn't change this color. That's normal. We just don't change it. It's hard-coded here. So HSV to RGB. The naming should be changed as well from this to, now I like to use RGB from HSV. So it matches, like the output is on the side of the description of the output and vice versa. Like I think Gingerbill did that. Okay, so it's already. So the color in, okay. So I guess it's the same deal. Val, color, val. Okay, everything became essentially transparent, except this guy. Nice. Nice. Actually quite happy that got to do that today. 2 things that we need is copy paste and delete. Just do that quickly. So if there is a copy action, the copy payload will be something like, I did that once already. I can't remember where. Actually I can. It was on the other game. I think here maybe. Color. Copy. Problem is there is a ton of copy paste code. That's not the one. That's not the one. Not the one. Might be, maybe. I see 3 float here. Call RGB. Except I think I did something so that you could paste hex values, if you see what I mean. That's probably not it. But that's okay, I'll take that. Paste action, copy action. Kind of sick of this music. Maybe we do a little bit without, or we listen some Wolfpack. Show all. All right, so I think here we just need to replace drawer by drawer arrow. And pass float, where did that come from? Okay. Pass float, so we have it here, but we don't. We use a different one in the game. Let's compare them. And I will do this little bit of cleanup now. So are they essentially the same? I see this is commented out. No idea why. But they are essentially the same, except this. I don't know why. I wish I put comments. 7 months ago. Lol. Lol. Let's see what fork says. So that's the file game tree, and we need to blame a specific line. We need to blame line 6705. 6705. 6705. How? No! No! Maybe it's not the way to do it, I don't know. How do you do like history but for those lines? I don't know. History. Then you can specify a line. You know what? It's fine. I don't know why I commented this out, but I don't need to know. I'll just take this guy. Right, and I'll put it in basic, I think, because it's still quite basic. Our utils. Do I have some parsing stuff here? So we have string, but it's kind of oldish. Ah, okay. Parse int try. Guess we can do it like that. And this guy takes a span, which is nice. That's nice. Maybe we can upgrade this one to take a span as well. So we got the out parameter first, which is not what I tend to do. And yeah, let's make it take a span. Span and result. Looks sensible to me. And then S would then be the beginning of the span. If span line equals 0, return false, because we couldn't parse, or maybe true, and set the result to 0. Not sure. Should we accept empty string as I think we should, so I'll just put true. Then trim white space. Dun, 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 dun. Kind of want to add a trim white space function then. And then we need a is white space. Seems I don't have any. We are getting kind of sidetracked, but that's good. Is char. What are some other kind of white space? I guess I really want to be minimal here. If start do something like this. That should work, I think. Except we need to break if we don't match, of course. And okay, I'll just make it clear that we break here. And yeah. This was kind of more elegant, to be honest. But well. I have the eat spaces. Ah, even in this. Oops. And it's even better written. Okay. Never mind. I don't know if I like eat as a word for this. Not sure. Yeah, if this is 0, we don't even enter the loop. Trim white space is done. Why? What is this? We don't do that. We don't do that here. We initialize everything. What's your problem? Ah, okay, but with the build scripts. Okay, so string doesn't exist anymore, but we can say try eat. Yeah, it is. Right. So essentially, we try to eat the next character. And the next character happens to be just, or I mean, it's a string, but it happens to be one character long. Maybe that's less efficient, but that's totally okay. I mean, totally okay. It's okay for me. Try eats. Maybe we can do a variant with char. Char. Making progress. Okay. I think that's not too shabby. Try it and try it char. Then we can replace that by try it char, and it should be ever so slightly more efficient, I suppose. And then we got this. Okay. So if the span length is bigger than 0 and span starts ding, ding, ding. And here I guess we get a warning. Okay, so if it's not a number, we just bail, and then end. Okay, so this parses the rest. Why do we do that? We just check that the first character to pass to. Okay. Kind of makes sense, I guess. Then, okay, we pass the starts of the span. But it will look for a null. So we can't use this guy. Or can we pass a length? Or maybe if we pass, if we end is set pointer to pointer. Wait, I need to change the signature of this guy. Oh no, it's just different ones. Okay. Yeah, I wish maybe I should write my own. It's just getting a bit long for this stream. No, not printf. Although, yeah. Maybe we can do it ourselves in this way. Like we eat a character which is a digit, we convert it to an integer. We add it to our total. If there is another number, we multiply by 10, etc. That's for the integer part. And then if we see a dot, we switch to a different mode. I guess that's doable. We just check, okay, if the length is more than 0 and we have the digits, then we parse that digits, essentially. So, if it's not here, we bail. Okay. So we'll call this the... It's not it. The... Okay. Then we advance. And okay, so if we have a digit, we can probably just add it to the result. Minus this, right? I think so. Digits. And then each time we get a digit, we do time 10. So I suppose we can do that here. Yeah. And then once we reach the comma, the next digit... Oh, I shouldn't forget this. When we reach a comma, the next digit gets added to the number, but yeah, it's not easy. Maybe I should use an implementation, a known implementation or something. Okay. Almost good, but I will have to go. Result. I'm sure there's a ton of bugs. Just no bugs yet. Just a little. Warning. Incredible. But then surely it doesn't work first try. Anyway, I wanted to use it to copy paste colors. T just pressed. Oh yeah, I was here. Alright, so let's push this and I'll finish it later. So I guess I did the changes in this project. Push. This guy. This guy is something else. But essentially, I think I stopped the string now. So we got our little color widget, which is nice. Too bad for the copy paste, but that can come later. And yeah, I'll stop here. All right, bye.